Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me for a 1-hour Hatha Yin Yoga fusion. My name is Tamara Maxim. Right now I'm recording these classes live on Facebook and then uploading them to my YouTube channel. So if you haven't checked that out, please look it up and subscribe. There are more than 85 free yoga videos for adults and kids in all styles of yoga. You can find it under my name, Tamara Maxim. Also, I have lots of yoga playlists on my Spotify account, which is the name tamarayvr, YVR being the airport code for Vancouver. And I live in the greater Vancouver area, so I would love for you to check out my Spotify account, and then you can use some yoga playlists to go along with the classes that you enjoy. This practice will focus on allowing you to let go and release anything that is preventing you from staying present with this practice. We often have little glimmers and moments of getting in the yoga zone, but it's hard to maintain. And there are so many things that we are involved in life, and so much busyness and so much going on in the mind, or maybe even around you while you're trying to practice yoga, that it's hard to stay in this presence. It's hard to stay in this state of mind and a state of body, really this state of being. So take a few moments here at the beginning of the practice to identify what it is that you can let go of to create space and opening to allow you to stay present. We'll do a lot of releasing in the shoulders and the hips, trying to let go of anything that we might be holding on to or carrying, and that will help you to stay present and stay in this state of being, this yogic state of being. So we'll begin in a child pose, and you can maybe identify what it is you need to let go of while we're here in a child pose, Balasana. So your knees can be wide or together, sitting back toward your heels as you extend your arms forward and forehead down. Your arms can be relaxed. If it feels better for you to bring your arms beside your body with your palms facing up beside your feet, you can. I'll just stay upright so you can hear me better. But you'll find yourself in Balasana child pose. And get comfortable, maybe shift the hips from side to side, or close and open the knees, see which feels better for you. Try extending your arms all the way forward and bring them back, and see which you prefer, which is better for your shoulders. And notice the breath. So the breath is always something that's part of us all the time. It's always there. But unless we bring awareness to it, we're not really conscious of it. But the moment you bring awareness to it, that's the moment that you become present. The breath is happening in every moment. The yoga practice is happening in every moment. So bring awareness to your breath. And as we're here over the next few moments in Balasana child pose, start to deepen the breath. Take an inhale through your nose, and on your next exhale, sigh out your mouth, not to force anything, but just to let some energy go. And start to create some deeper inhalations and some longer, more full exhalations, maybe a louder sigh or sound comes out your mouth. If you prefer to breathe in and out through the nose, totally fine. Just let it be a stronger exhalation. And from this place, find an intention for your practice. Maybe it's the word letting go, or release, or creating space. Whatever it is there for you, bring your awareness to it, just like you did to the breath. Bring your awareness to that intention, which has always been there. Now it's in your consciousness. Now it's in the present. Repeat it to yourself a few times if you like. And maybe you'd like to dedicate your practice as well. Dedicate it to a person, to a cause, to a place. Send this energy out. On your next inhale breath, walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. So if your hands are beside your hips, just extend them out forward and then over to the right. Create as much depth as you like here. Maybe you relax your right arm. Maybe your left hand comes on top of your right. Forehead down, ears between your arms. Breathe some extra space into your left side. Open up the space between the ribs, the intercostal muscles. Another full round of breath here. Maybe sigh out your mouth as you exhale. And then slowly you'll walk your hands through center over to the left side. And create as much depth as you like. You can relax your left arm. Maybe your right arm reaches more. Maybe both arms are extended fully. Let your forehead come down between your arms. Your ears are in line with your arm. And as you're here, breathing into your side body, create more space in between your right ribs, into the intercostal muscles. And my little cute sidekick here tonight. Puppies always love it when you practice yoga, I find. Take one more full round of breath. Maybe create a little bit of sigh or sound at the mouth as you exhale. Come back through center. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Then slowly round yourself up to sit either on your shin bones or come to cross-legged position if you like, and float your hands to your heart center. The sound of Om is called the pranava. It's the great cosmic sound. And it's always present. It's ever present. It's always a vibration in the universe. But until we bring awareness to it, it's not in our consciousness. And that's something that we do with the breath, with the body, with the pranava, even with our heartbeat. The moment we bring awareness to it, we're right here in the present. So let's do that with the sound of Om. Take a deep, clearing breath in through the nose. A big sigh out your mouth. Exhale. For the pranava, Om. Allow yourself to become present, attuned to this vibration that's all around us, ever present, just like the breath, just like the heartbeat, just like this moment. Bow your mind into the beautiful light of your own heart. Blink your eyes open for a moment, gaze at your hands. Appreciation and gratitude for this practice and for this time that you've given yourself. Come forward onto your hands and knees. You can extend one leg out at a time behind you. Rock the heel forward as you straighten the leg. Go side to side. And we'll take Anahatasana, heart-melting posture. So if you have blocks, you can use them. If you don't have blocks, no problem. Either way, you can bring your forearms down either onto blocks or right onto the mat, about shoulder distance apart. And make sure that your knees stay underneath your hips, your toes are tucked. And start to walk the elbows more forward with your palms touching. And then from here, you can bend the elbows and bring the thumbs to the nape of your neck and allow your heart to melt down, forehead down. And if you have the blocks, this makes it quite a bit more intense, so feel free to release the blocks if you're using them. Don't worry if you don't have blocks, just walking your elbows as far forward as you can, pulling the hips back and up, just like downward dog. You'll start to take some deep breaths and feel this really deep release underneath the arms. This is into the lymph nodes and the sides of the heart. This is connected to our immune system, which is so affected by the stress that we carry, the worries that we carry, all of the extra baggage and things that we tote around that create more challenge to be present in this moment. So in other words, see if you can let something go here. Take 2 more rounds of breath. And then start to walk your elbows off the block. If they're on the block, hips back to your heels. Let your arms come forward. Extended child pose. Toes are untucked. Relax your arms. And bring yourself back up to a tabletop position. Take your right foot out to the right in line with your inner left knee and roll the outer right hip back and down. Make sure the outer edge of the foot is secure. Toes are pointed toward the same direction as the front of your mat. Keep your left palm on the mat. Your left toes are also tucked. On your inhale breath, open up your right arm. Create a twist, an opening of the heart. Stretch the right fingertips up to the sky. You can take a look at your thumb or your fingers. Maybe start to pull the right arm back. Create more space in the heart. You still get a bit of a stretch into the lymph nodes, the immune system, connected right into the heart. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. And one more breath. Inhale, open up. As you exhale, thread your right arm underneath your left arm and use a block if you need to come all the way down onto your right shoulder. Maybe the block comes underneath the shoulder or underneath your cheek. To see where it's comfortable for you. You might need to bend your left elbow a lot. And keep pushing the right hip back and down. You can tend to your left fingertips for more support, or maybe extend the arm forward and again stretch underneath the left arm. It's amazing how tied into our immune system the heart is. If you think about that, when we feel sadness or grief or loss, how much it affects our wellness. And press the top of your right hand down. See if you can create a little bit more stretch into the outer right shoulder. And maybe you'd like to take a half bind, spinning that left palm back behind you. Maybe you can wiggle the fingers to the top of your right thigh and press into the back of your right hand and roll your left shoulder open more. Keep pressing the outer edge of your right foot down, right hip back. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Then release that left arm up, all the way flat to the mat with your palms. Sweep your right arm up and open. And exhale, release. So hopefully you feel a nice release in the shoulders. Step your knees back together. You can take either a few cat and cow here, or maybe even a downward dog would feel good, lifting the hips back and up, pedaling out your heels. And back to the tabletop. Step your left leg out to the left, keeping your inner left foot in line with your inner right knee. Right palm is down, right toes are tucked. Same thing this side. Left arm lifts up, press into your right palm and stretch the space across your heart a little wider. Maybe even start to reach back, create an opening into the left side of your heart. Take a deep breath in, a long breath out. Maybe look to your thumb. One more inhale and exhale. Inhale, reach up and open a little more as you breathe in, and then as you breathe out, slide that left arm underneath your right arm. Try to come onto your shoulder if you can. Use blocks if you have for support or a pillow. You can tent your right fingertips in front of your face or extend the right palm forward to the top of your mat. Try to roll the outer right shoulder down, outer left hip back and down. Create an opening in the inner thighs and the shoulders. Try to press the back of your left hand down and roll more to the outer left shoulder. And maybe you can spin that right palm back behind you and wiggle all the way to the top of your left thigh. Roll your top shoulder open even more if you're doing this variation by pressing the back of your left hand down, spinning the chest open. Right hand comes back down, flat palm. Press into it as you sweep your left arm up and open. Exhale, hands come down and either move through a few cat and cow with the breath or back to downward dog. Either variation, about 5 breaths. So take your time, stretch out your legs, move through the spine. This is downward dog or cat and cow. I'll be introducing a few variations of pigeon pose, but more restorative styles of pigeon pose, so hopefully you'll enjoy them. Let's everyone push back to downward facing dog and maybe take a slightly shorter stance. Bend your knees and cross your flexed left ankle over top of your right thigh, so creating a pigeon with your legs right here. And bend your left knee a lot, almost as if you were going, or bend your right knee a lot, as if you were going to lower it to the mat, and then pull your hips back and up. And hopefully you'll feel this into the outer left hip. Relax the crown of your head. Look toward your left shin, deep breath in, and a deep breath out. And let's release, pedal out the heels a couple of times. Then bend your knees, place your flexed right ankle over top of your left thigh. Bend your left knee a lot as you pull the hips back and up, starting to create an opening in the right hip. Relax the top of your head, look toward your right shin. Deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Release both of your feet to the mat. Step your feet wide. Reach your arms forward just like downward dog, palms forward, and pull your chest back. And now walk your feet back to the original position. Inhale your right leg up to the sky. Stack your hip, bend your knee, drop your right foot toward the left side. You can open up your chest here. Try to peek underneath your right arm. Deep breath in and a long breath out. One more inhale, lift that knee. And as you exhale, let's come to pigeon pose. So bring the right shin bone forward. You don't have to bring the shin parallel. It can be at quite an angle. Slide your left leg back. In fact, if it's quite tight, you might want to have your shin bone parallel with the long edge of your mat, but let it poke out a little bit from underneath you if you can. Tuck your back toes, slide your left knee as far back as you can, lift your chest. And if this is a lot for you, you can come to deer pose, so have both knees bent like a lightning bolt. From either variation, let's stay upright here, so press into your finger pads, try to lift your chest. Have both hips square to the front of the mat or the side of the mat. If you're in deer pose, they'll face the side. If you're in pigeon pose, they'll face the front. Kapotasana. One more breath in this upright position. And then from either of your variations, take your fingertips out wide off of the mat. So you're either in deer pose or you're in pigeon pose. If you're in deer pose, your hands will be a little bit more at an angle. If you're in pigeon pose, your hands will be in a parallel line to the front of your mat. Take an inhale breath here, and as you exhale, bend your elbows and lower your chest. Inhale, peel back up. This is like a variation of exalted cobra, Viparita Bhujangasana. Exhale, lower. Inhale, peel back up, lift your heart. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale. As you exhale, lower, come all the way down into your forearms. Maybe make a little pillow with your hands, forehead down. If you're in deer pose, same thing. Take 3 more deep breaths. And coming back to whatever it is that you'd like to let go of here, what it is that you're letting go of. Align with your intention for this practice. Committing to try your best to stay present, letting go of whatever is stopping you from experiencing this moment of yoga that's happening right now. We'll slowly start to push ourselves back up. Make your way back to downward dog. On your inhale breath, lift your left leg up to the sky. Stack your hip, bend your knee, drop your foot to the right side. You can look underneath your left arm to create more of an opening here, lifting that knee higher. Let the foot drop a little more. Another deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift your knee a little higher. And as you exhale, bring that knee forward for a pigeon or deer pose. And you can be right up onto the shin bone if you like. So the shin bone is parallel to the long edge of your mat, or let the shin bone peek out a little bit from underneath you, or come to deer pose. Bend your back knee as well. Tent up on your fingertips. So your palms will be parallel to the top edge of your mat if you're in pigeon, or a little bit more of an angle to the edge of your mat if you're in deer pose. If you're in pigeon, tuck your back toes, your right toes, and slide your right knee as far back as you can. Puff up your chest, lift up. And feel the lengthening of the front body, the lengthening of the torso and the heart. And then taking your fingertips out wide off of your mat if they're not there already, giving yourself some space to bend the elbows out to the side. Take an inhale breath, lengthen up. Exhale to lower down, like a Viparita Bhujangasana, exalted cobra. Inhale, come up, lift the heart up. Exhale to lower. One more time, inhale. Exhale. And then from here, you can bring your forearms down to the mat. If you're in deer pose, it might look like this, or maybe you make a little pillow. Take a few deep breaths here. We hold a lot of emotional baggage, a lot of emotional tension, residue from experiences, energy from our life events in our hips. And this is the place where you might be able to identify where it is you can let go. What it is that you can release, so there's more space to experience the beauty of this moment, all that this moment has to offer. Not staying caught up in the past or thinking about the future, but just being here now. Bringing the palms back underneath the shoulders. Let's push back and up, downward dog. On your next inhale, ripple forward, high plank, Utthita Chaturanga Dandasana. Spread your fingers wide. You can lower your knees if you like. Keep drawing up through the belly, but pressing the hips down at the same time, so creating a nice plank line from the back of your head all the way to your heels, even if your knees are down. Take an inhale, breath, rock forward just a little bit more, and stay here as you draw the belly in. One more time, inhale, ripple forward. Stay here as you draw the belly in. And now lower your right knee to the mat, kickstand your right foot behind you, sweep your left arm up and over your ear. Spin your pinky finger down, thumb up, and maybe start to arch the chest open. Ardha Vashisthasana, supported side plank. Beautiful posture to create length in the side body and length through the torso. Press the hips forward. Maybe look to your top hand. And slowly come back. Plank pose, and we'll do the other side. Lower your left knee. Kickstand your foot. Reach your right arm up and over your ear. Pinky finger down, thumb up. And press your hips forward. Get a lot of length in the front body and the side body. Extending through the hip flexors. That often really tight area. The top of the thigh. Deep breath in. Maybe look to your hand. Deep breath out. And come all the way back into plank pose. Rock forward more, knees can be lowered. And slowly lower your chest down, chin down. Take your hands behind your lower back, interlace your palms, Ardha Shalabhasana. Hug right to the webbing of your fingers. Keep your elbows bent, but draw the shoulders back. Root the tops of your feet down, maybe your big toes touch. On your inhale breath, lift your head and chest up, and maybe you can start to straighten the arms. Keep pressing into the tops of the feet. Lift your chest a little higher. Try to keep your gaze either level with the floor, slightly forward, or maybe up. One more breath, lift, and exhale, lower. Turn your head to the right. Left ear on the mat. Take a full breath in, let your heels relax. And a full breath out. One more. And exhale. We'll do that again. Same thing, Ardha Shalabhasana. So feet stay pressing down. It helps to stretch the thighs. Interlace the hands. This time the opposite grip, opposite thumb on top. Keep your elbows bent as you inhale. Press into the feet. Keep the big toes touching if you can. Shoulders back if you can. Straighten the arms. Knuckles traveling toward the heels. Keep the gaze long by looking down, straight ahead, or slowly starting to look up. But keep the neck lengthened. One more deep inhale. Stay for your exhale. The inhale, lift up just a little higher. Exhale to lower. This time look to your left, right ear down. Relax your arms, relax your heels out. Deep inhale. And a long exhale. Bring your gaze back through center, palms under your shoulders, tuck your toes. Shift your hips back toward your heels, extended child pose. And then rise up. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And slowly start to tiptoe or walk your flat feet toward the top of your mat. Coming all the way forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold, and let your feet be hip distance apart. Wrap your palms around your opposite elbows. Maybe turn your head in different ways, like for yes, for no, for maybe. Shrug your shoulders for the maybe. And take the opposite form in front, so just switch the orientation of your grip. And then let your arms hang. Walk your feet a little bit closer together, inner hip distance. Palms on your shins, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, nice flat back, shoulders back. Exhale to lower. Inhale again, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale to lower, forward fold. Inhale to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Palms touch as you reach up, arch back. Hands to heart center, Samastitihi. Just take a moment, release into Tadasana. On your inhale breath, sweep your arms widen up. We'll take a very slow variation of Surya Namaskar. See here, I find this very relaxing. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, fold, plant your palms, right foot steps back, and lower your right knee down. Slide your right knee as far back as you can. And stay tented up on your fingertips here, or reach your arms to the sky, Anjaneyasana. Try to pull your left hip crease back, right thigh forward. You can untuck the toes if it feels okay. If it creates more stability, then keep the toes tucked. Flip your right palm up, left fingertips around your right wrist. Take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge up and over to the left side. Maybe even look underneath your right arm. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Inhale your arms back up through center. Bring your fingertips down to the mat. Lengthen your chest forward. And as you exhale, shift the hips back. Straighten your front leg. Heel presses forward. Toes curl towards you. Ardha Hanumanasana. Let's do that again. Inhale, lunge forward. Lift your heart. You can use blocks if you like. Exhale, hinge back. Heel forward. Toes curl. One more time. Inhale. I really like to add in Ardha Hanumanasana and Hanumanasana almost every time I practice. A lot of release for the hips and the hamstring. One more inhale. Come forward. Flatten your palms. Lift your back knee up and turn your right hand more up to the right, and then tent your fingertips. On your inhale breath, sweep your left arm up to the sky, and again, get a little bit more opening here, sweeping the palm back behind you. Maybe you can spin the hand all the way around. Just hook to the top of your right thigh. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Spin your arm all the way back around. Both hands come flat to the mat. Step back, downward dog. Ripple forward again, high plank pose. So this time we'll lower all the way to the belly for cobra pose. Untuck the toes, big toes touch. Bhujangasana. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower. Tuck your toes, hips to heels, or you can push right back to downward dog. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale your right leg up to the sky, big stretch, reach it up. As you exhale, step your right foot through inside of your right thumb. You can stay high on your back toes. You're welcome to lower the back knee if you need, or rise up for a high crescent lunge. Pull your outer right hip back, left thigh forward. Take an inhale, reach up to the sky. Little variation here, open it up, warrior two. Pull your left heel back so your front heel and left heel are aligned approximately. Take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Flip your right palm up, lower your left hand down, pull it back. Exalted warrior. Inhale here. Stay for your exhale. And as you inhale, bring both hands to the mat, spin your back heel up, and step forward. Ardha Uttanasana. Release and fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samastitihi. Take an inhale breath, reach your arms to the sky. And as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. This time as you exhale, step your left foot back and lower your left knee down. Try to slide it as far back as you can. Stay on your fingertips or reach your arms to the sky. Here, flip your left palm up. Let's do Anjaneyasana first. Right hip back, left thigh forward. Jumping ahead because that part feels so good. Deepen into your hips. Take an inhale breath here. Stay for your exhale. Now you can flip your left palm up. Right fingertips wrap around. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, hinge up and over to the right side. Maybe look underneath your left arm. That beautiful side body stretch, and pull up and over as you root forward with the hips. You'll feel the stretch into your hip flexor. Deep breath in. Beautiful side body stretch. Deep breath out. Inhale back through center. As you exhale, tend your fingertips. Lean forward. Exhale, hinge back, Ardha Hanumanasana. Press your heel forward, toes curl. Inhale, come forward again. Exhale, pull it back. Inhale, come forward again. Exhale, pull it back. Coming onto your flat right foot. Plant your hands underneath, lift your back knee up. Turn your left fingertips out to the left, tent them on your inhale breath. Reach your right arm up, pull your right hip back. Maybe open up just a little bit more. Maybe you can get that half line, spinning the arm back around just to hook the fingers over the top of your left thigh. Deep full breath in, and a deep full breath out. Bring your right arm back up, both hands flat to the mat. Step back, downward dog. Knuckle forward to high plank. This time you can lower halfway or all the way, maybe chaturanga. Untuck your toes, take upward facing dog if you like, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. You can stay in cobra. Make your way back to downward dog if you like. You can take a child pose or push right back and up. Deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Left foot steps forward inside the left thumb. You can lower your back knee or keep your toes down and your heel up. High crescent. Deep breath in. And a long breath out. Little variation here. Back heel comes down. Open it up. Warrior two. Align your front heel and your back arch. Take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Flip your left palm up. Lower your right hand down. Exalted warrior. Big stretch into the left side body. Deep inhale. Long exhale. Inhale, come all the way down to the mat. Lift your back heel up. Spring off your back foot. Step forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, and hopefully your Hips are feeling open as you stand tall, or Urdhva hands to heart center, Samastitihi. We'll come into a standing hip opener, so you'll have some choices here. If any time this becomes too much for you, just come to standing. So we'll start with the option for Vrikshasana, tree pose, and then we'll move into a standing pigeon pose. So pour the weight down into your right foot. Come onto your left toes and turn your left knee out to the left. And as you engage, lift up through the inner right leg, especially pressing the big toe mound down. Start to slide your left foot up the inside of your right leg. So maybe your toes are still on the mat. Maybe your heel comes just below your knee. Try to pass the knee if you can with your foot so you're not pressing right into it in that lateral motion. Squeeze the foot and leg together and lift up through the center line, hands to your heart. And this is a hip opener right here. Try to draw the back of the outer edge of your left thigh back behind you is what I'm trying to say as the hips press forward. So there's an outer rotation of the hips. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. You're welcome to stay here. Or return your knee into center, flex your left foot, the ankle, and sit down as you place your left ankle over your right thigh. Hands can stay at your heart. If you're in tree pose and you want to reach your arms up, or you're in this standing pigeon and you want to reach your arms up, you can. Breathe. Find steadiness. Stay present. Be here in this moment. Slowly rise. Return the foot down to meet the right. Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a deep full breath in and a deep full breath out. Let's try the other side. Hands to your hips. Pour the weight down into your left foot this time. Especially be aware of the inner edge of the foot and the big toe mound. Come onto your right toes. Lift your heel and turn your right knee out to the right. So right away you get that external rotation of the hip. And this might be a lot for some people. Or you can start to slide the sole of your right foot up the inside of your left leg. Maybe heel just below the knee. Or foot comes up a little higher. Squeeze the foot and leg together. Hands come to your heart, finding Vrikshasana. Draw up through the center line and see if you can pull the back or the top of your, I said it again, the top of your right thigh back behind you as the hips press forward. So external rotation of the hips. And you're welcome to stay like this. Or bring your knee back through center, flex your right foot and place it over top of your left thigh and sit back and down. And then from either variation, you can extend your arms, creating side body length. Deep full breath in. A deep full breath out. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Hands to heart center, Samastitihi. And hands by your side. Take a full breath in this moment. See if you can feel the lightness of being. There's a shedding of whatever it is that you let go of. It's conscious awareness of this moment. Maybe you feel a little extra tingly. Maybe you're aware of your heartbeat. Very aware of your breath, hopefully. All of those are tools to gather you into this moment. Make sure you're standing near the top edge of your mat if you're not already. Open your eyes. Take an inhale breath. Reach up, arch back. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway, palms to shins or fingertips to your toes. And as you exhale, plant your palms, step back, downward dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And if you'd like to take a vinyasa at this point, you can, just to flush things through. Or stay in downward dog. A vinyasa is to ripple forward, high plank. Lower halfway or all the way. Take a back bend as you breathe in. And make your way back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And a long breath out. And lower your knees from wherever you are. Sit back onto your heels. And reach your arms up to the sky. Index finger pointing up. Take an inhale here. Hinge to the right. Inhale through center, hinge to the left. Inhale through center. Now try to keep your grip as you slowly come forward, bringing your hands to the mat, extending your arms forward, forehead down. Try to keep your grip. Deep breath in, getting into the underarms. Deep breath out. Release your hands. Palms extending forward. Tend your fingertips. Pull the armpits down. Slowly release. Walk your hands or slide your hands back to your thighs and shift your hips to one side and legs out in front of you. As promised, the yin sandwich. So yin at the beginning, little hatha in the middle, which we just did, and now we're back to yin again, so enjoy. Move the flesh around your seat from side to side. Take an inhale breath, reach your arms up to the sky, and try to extend through your side body. Can you root down more? Draw the belly in a little bit so there's no back bend. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, twist to your right side. Use your left hand on your outer right knee, right fingertips tented behind you. And give yourself a nice tall twist. Deep inhale and exhale. Let's do the other side. Inhale, reach up, lengthen your side body. Exhale, twist to your left. Right hand on your outer left knee, left fingertips tented, turn and twist. Inhale back through center, Paschimottanasana. Exhale, hinge and fold. And if you find you have a really tight lower back or tight hamstrings, grab a block, feel free to sit up on the edge of it. And this will help to create a little bit more space as the pelvis tilts forward. Hang on wherever you can. Lengthen for your next inhale breath. And then fold and surrender. Let the crown of the head relax down. Let your shoulders at the back of your legs completely relax. And slowly roll yourself all the way up. Cross your left ankle over top of your right thigh. Keep it flexed. Bend your right knee. Bring your foot onto the mat and maybe using your hands to support you, shift your hips a little bit closer to your heel. And tend your fingertips back behind you if you can and lift your chest up toward your thigh. So this might be a lot for you, and if it is, don't bend your knee so much and maybe lean back a little bit. But if you can, get even closer. So a seated pigeon pose. You're welcome to stay here. If it feels good, maybe walk your right foot over to the left side and find fire log pose or double pigeon. And bring your fingertips out to the side if you're in this variation, or behind you, it's still good. And maybe start to lean forward. And from whichever variation you're in, we'll take 5 more deep breaths. You can even bring your arms in front if you can get that low, or maybe a block if you need one. Or any kind of improvised yoga support. I highly recommend for this next breath to sigh out your mouth as you exhale. As you're ready, slowly push yourself up. Lean back into your hands if you're not already. Release your legs. Take your feet wide, knees wide. A few windshield wipers side to side. Watch out for cute puppies. Make your way back with your feet flat on the mat. And place, legs long. Back of your legs on the mat. Place your flexed right ankle over top of your left thigh. Lean back into your hands, bend your left knee, and if you can, push your hips a little bit closer to your heel. Find your variation. You might tend your fingertips back behind you. You might lean back a little bit more, or maybe create more space. If your chest is very close to your right shin bone and you can push quite deeply into your tented fingertips, maybe you consider fire log pose, especially if you did it on the other side. Walking your left foot over to the right side of your mat. Try to stack your shin bones. So try to have both of your shin bones parallel to the top edge of your mat. Tend your fingertips either beside you or behind you. Take an inhale breath to lengthen. And as you exhale, fold forward as much as you can. It might not be very much. This is quite intense. And in fact, I didn't mention it on the other side, but if your right knee is quite high here, sometimes good to just to try this pose, but put a block or something, a little wedge underneath it for that support. But you might find if you just let it naturally drop, especially keeping both feet flexed, keep that containment, support for the knees, you may over time be able to fold forward more, getting more open in the hips, and maybe even a block or a pillow under your forehead. From here, we'll take 5 more deep breaths. Be ready to rise up, slowly rise up, lean back into your hands, release your legs as you need to get your feet wide, knees apart, and again, windshield wiper, side to side. Sorry. She likes to be right in the action. Beautiful. Come back through center, bring your feet back to the top of your mat, wiggle your hips a little closer. Have a couple of back bends. We'll start with floating bridge, and then we'll hold little bridge pose. And there's the option for Urdhva Dhanurasana if you're feeling frisky and you want a little bit more. Lift your heart forward, reach your arms forward like you're going to embrace somebody. And as you exhale, slowly start to roll down onto your back. And bring a block with you if you like, or supported, or a cushion or a pillow. Coming all the way down onto your back, and we'll start by walking the heels in toward the hips, and make sure that your feet are not wider than the width of your hands. Let your thumbs touch your hips, so hug your arms in pretty tight. You can even get a little squeeze of the shoulder blades together. Press down into your feet, and on your inhale breath, start to lift your hips up and float your arms up at the same time. If that's okay for your shoulders, press the backs of your hands down. Take one more breath, lift up a little higher. And as you exhale, slowly start to lower the hips and arms down at the same time. Move with the breath. Inhale, lift all the way up until the back of your hands press down. Squeeze your hips higher. Exhale, slowly start to lower hips and hands. Do 3 more with your own breath. Nice and slow. As if the inhale breath is floating your hips and arms up like in a balloon to lift you up. And your exhale breath is deflating the balloon underneath you as you slowly come down. 2 more. Make sure your knees are hugging energetically toward each other. And on your next one, lift your hips up. Keep your arms where they are. Interlace your hands under your lower back and start to squeeze your shoulder blades together. And if this is not something you want to do, you'd rather have support, then put the block or the cushion underneath your sacrum and take a little support here. Otherwise, work the knuckles towards your heels. Lift your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Release your hands beside you, palms flat. Take one more breath to lift higher. As you exhale, slowly lower the hips down. Take your feet together, knees wide. One hand onto your belly, one hand onto your heart. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And if you're in a supported bridge and you'd like to stay, you can, or you can release to this posture. Even with the block underneath you might feel okay.
We'll take one more back bend with the option for Urdhva Dhanurasana if it's in your practice, but I recommend that you're going to keep it on the down low for this particular practice, but totally up to you. Arms beside you again, your feet are no wider than your hands. Your inhale breaths are to peel the hips up, and this time if you interlace your hands, take the opposite grip. If you're going for Urdhva Dhanurasana, press your hands up toward the ceiling, flex your wrists, bring your hands beside your ears, fingertips pointing toward your shoulders, and as you push up into your hands, come onto the crown of the head, and then straighten your arms and legs the best you can to come all the way up. I'll stay here in Satya Bandhasana, little bridge pose. For either back bend, keep the inner thighs, inner knees hugging toward one another. Try to lift your hips up even higher. Even in little bridge, there's this action of trying to straighten the legs, even though you wouldn't. But the hips keep pressing up, pressing up. Hips keep lifting higher, chin in toward the chest. One more deep inhale. Release your hands beside you if you're with me, little bridge. Lift up for one more breath. Squeeze your bum up. And as you exhale, start to lower. And if you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana, come down to the crown of your head first. Bring your arms beside you. Let your hips come down slowly. And this time, take your feet wide, inner knees touch. And again, place a hand onto your heart, a hand onto your belly. And even though your breath has been there the whole time, and your heartbeat has been there the whole time, bring awareness to it. And for these last few moments of the practice, give yourself the gift of this present, this moment, this moment. Yoga is happening right here, right now. And if you miss it, you lose your yoga practice, so stay with it. Bring your arms back beside your body. Walk your feet back underneath your knees. Last variation of pigeon here. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. And start to hug your right knee in towards your right shoulder. And as this is happening, if it's too much for you, you can always keep your right foot on the mat. If you can, grab behind your right thigh or in front of your right shin bone and pull your right knee more to the right. And press your left knee away, keeping your left foot flexed to protect your knee. Take a few deep breaths and see if you can pull even more to the right with your right knee and press your left knee even more forward. And then from here, cactus your left arm, your left elbow in line with your shoulder, fingertips pointing behind you, back of the hand down. Take this whole shape over to the right side, and you can use your right hand on your inner left knee to push the knee away, or you can hang on to your left ankle with your right hand and push your knee away. And then finally turn your gaze toward the left, so a supine twisting pigeon. Breathe deep into your side, into the twist of your torso. Enjoy the hip opener. And bring both hands down to the mat. Keep the shape of your legs, but raise it back up toward the center. And now jog your hips a little bit to the right side. Let your right toes come more out to the right. And lower your right knee to the mat, and your left knee will come down with it. If you need to, you can release the cross of your left ankle from your right thigh. Try to keep the knees apart if you can, and press the inner right thigh down. And you can cactus your arms again and turn and look toward the right. Or something that I like to do here is take my opposite palms, just like we did at the beginning, and create a little frame for your head and pull your side body long. You can still turn your head toward the right side if you like. Full breaths in and full breaths out. Bring your gaze back through center. Release your arms. Let your feet come back into the middle. Hug your knees in toward your chest and take a happy baby here. Wrap your hands around the outer edges of your feet as you pull your knees down. Press your feet up at the same time and try to roll the sacrum down toward the mat. And then let the feet come back down onto the mat. This time we'll cross our right ankle over the left knee, flex it. Start to pull your left knee in toward your chest, but out toward your left shoulder. At the same time, pressing that right knee away. If you can, hug behind the left thigh or in front of the shin. And of course, you can always have the option of keeping the left foot down. It's fine too. Keep pulling your left knee more to the left. Right knee keeps pushing away. And then we'll take this whole shape over to the left. So tap your left foot down, jog your hips a little bit to the right side, and let this whole shape come over to the left. And you can either push your right knee away with your left hand or hold onto your right ankle with your left hand, cactus your right arm, turn and look away toward the right, if it's okay for your neck. And breathe into the space that you're creating across your torso and your chest. Hopefully your hips are feeling more spacious and open. And bring your gaze back through center. Use your hands for support to push yourself back up. And this time you'll jog your hips a little bit to the left side. Walk your left foot a little bit more to the left. I'll turn myself so I don't hit my yoga teacher over here. Drop the shape of your knees to the right side. And if it's too much for your left thigh or your hips, you can separate your feet. Try to keep your knees wide if you can. You can cactus your arms or gather in your elbows with your opposite hands and make a little frame for your head. And if you like, turn your gaze to the left. Try to work that inner left knee down as much as you can. And slowly make our way out of this shape. Bring your gaze back to center. Release your hands. Take your top foot off. Shift your hips back into alignment. Another happy baby here. Bring your knees into your chest. This time a little variation. As you bring your knees in, keep your left foot in towards your groin. Place your right hand on your inner right heel and try to extend your leg out. I'm really enjoying this variation lately. Kind of reminds me of Skandasana, deep hip opener. You can rock a little bit side to side. And you can switch sides when you're ready. Right heel comes in. You can wrap your right hand around the outer right foot. Grab your left heel from the inside with your palm and extend that leg. Maybe rock side to side. When you're ready, hug both knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice big squeeze, forehead to your knees. Big breath in and a big breath out. And when you're ready, you can release yourself down onto your back for your final rest, Shavasana. If there's any movements or postures that you'd like to make before this, you can. I often end my Hatha practices with an inversion, but this is more of the yin
ending, so feel free to tailor it to your needs at this time. Remembering to stay present. So whatever it is that you do, use it as a tool to stay here with this practice, here in this moment, here with yourself, where the yoga is happening. And as you're ready, make your way into Shavasana, letting your arms and legs completely relax. Close our practice with the pranava, the sound of Om. And let this sound of Om be a reminder that even if you're not conscious of it, that this vibration is all around you, that your heartbeat is still there, that your breath is still there, that yoga is still there. And you can attune yourself to the moment by the sound of Om, by the sound of breath, by the sound of your heartbeat. It's awareness that attunes you to this moment. So for the final shedding of anything that you'd like to let go of that's preventing you from this moment, let it go now. Take a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. If you like, you can join me for the sound of Om, the pranava. Deep breath in. Thank you for being here with me through these moments, this practice, for this connection. Namaste.